What's up everybody, welcome back to another Broken Build video. On this episode of Broken Remnant 2, we are fully stacking our rampage with the beautiful Sparkfire shotgun in 3 seconds. And on top of that we have a masterpiece of a build to complement this bug. We are going to be sitting on a 75% cooldown reduction build, which is the current cap after they ghost nerfed it because it used to go to 98% and it was hilarious. We are going to utilize our cooldowns to have our skills boost our damage massively. The bug is not game breaking, but it's super fun to use. As you saw at the start of the video, we stacked our rampage with 1 or 2 hits in less than 4 seconds. I don't know why, but if you hit an enemy with the Sparkfire shotgun, it just ramps up the rampage stacks and it's fully stacked in 3 seconds. As you saw right now, we will demonstrate how this works after we kill the true king. Grab your snacks because this is going to be amazing, guys. After activating rampage, we start hitting the enemy with our Sparkfire and take a look how fast the stacks are getting built up. This is not happening from the elemental dots or the status effect dots, it is happening from the dots only coming from the Sparkfire. Take a look. You can do some crazy builds with Hunter and Challenger, and I know this is not the way that the Sparkfire should work, but I got the gun to crit for 6k damage. This is a very funny moment because some videos ago I tried to test this gun as a DPS gun without dots and it wasn't working, but with this build for some weird reason it works and it is performing quite nicely. I assume that this bug is the only reason that this is happening because normally this gun is not supposed to be played that way. I have figured this by now. If you're interested on the build that I used to kill the Ravager, I will have a small build breakdown for this build as well at the end of the fight. For now, enjoy the fight or skip and I will see you at the build breakdown section. So this was the build that I used to kill the Ravager. Abrasive Whetstone, Ring of Low Beauty, Zania's Malice, Probability Cord, and Singed Ring. On the Sparkfire we have Twisted Wounds and Overflow, and on the Relic 10% range crit chance, 20% range crit damage and 15% weak spot damage. Okay guys, this build has a lot of components that have to work together perfectly, so bear with me. First things first, we have Rampage, which is bugging out with the Sparkfire shotgun. Then we are using Ritualist to complement our shotgun. And to make this build spicy, we need to have our cooldowns as soon as possible. For that reason, we have 75 skill cooldown, which is the current skill cooldown cap. The way we achieve that cooldown is by 20% with the legacy protocol, which also increases our skill duration for the rampage, which is huge. Burden of the rebel, which will reduce our skill cooldowns by 15% but also reduce our relic use speed by 25%, but that does not matter because we use enlarged heart. And on our relic we use minus 10% skill cooldown here as well, plus 20% range crit damage and 10% range crit chance. You can swap this out if you like. I like to have juicy crits, so this is why I use this particular relic fragments. And then we have another 10% from the Xenoplasm, and with the help of our trait we have another 20%, so that will make 75% cooldown reduction. Even if we try to go further, it will not work. Take a look. Burden of the Stargazer, minus 15% cooldown reduction. It doesn't change at all. So now our cooldowns are looking beautiful. We have 11 seconds on the cooldown of Miasma while it lasts 20 seconds, and we have 22 seconds cooldown for a rampage. Guys, there is another ring that is fantastic for this build, and it's the Band of the Fanatic. So this will increase our status effect damage by 25% and reduce the status effect duration by 65%. That does not matter for us because our skill cooldown is at 11 seconds and the miasma lasts for 13 seconds with boosted dot damage. But until they fix the dot damage, I don't recommend to use this ring. Okay, so now we covered why we use rampage with the shotgun, we covered how and why we have 75% cooldown reduction. The only thing left right now is to add more damage to our kit. And what better rings from a honey crystal ring, which will give us 20% increased damage all the time because we're gonna have our miasma up all the time. And then we're gonna have singed ring, which will increase our damage by 10% multiplicative, and probability cord for those juicy crits that I love. For the handgun slot, I'm using Enigma with Milestorm, which will increase the damage of Enigma by 40% after we use our miasma. Other than that, you can use whichever handgun you like, it is not a key component of this build. Some handguns to pair with this build would be Corrupted Rune Pistol, MP60 with Tremor and Momentum, etc, etc. And for the superstar of our build, we're gonna use Overflow with Fetid Wounds to have that triple dot plus the fire rate from the Overflow, which is very nasty, especially when our rampage is fully stacked. For the armor, you can use whatever you like. I just love this silver and blue outfit with the Fey, Royal and the Zealot's overcoat. Guys, I will analyze the traits as well because some of them are super important. Flashcaster is mandatory because we are using our skills all the time and we don't want to die in any animations. Fortify to have that extra damage reduction. Ammo reserves are very important for the shotgun, guys, because I guarantee you that you will be left out of bullets after a prolonged fight 100%. And then we have Spirit, maxed out to have mod power regeneration for our overflow. Expertise, of course. Amplitude is very important for the passive of the Ritualist and also the miasma range. Handling is mandatory, so our shotgun does not kick like a donkey. Fitness is not mandatory, it's just one of my favorite traits because it lets me reposition myself with 1 or 2 rolls. And then for the rest I got 5 on Vigor and 4 on Siphoner for that 1.2% lifesteal. For the melee weapon, you can use whatever you like to complement the build. I'm not using my melee with this build, so I didn't equip one. I hope I explained everything and you understand how all the dots are connecting. This build is super fun, I just love to have my cooldowns ready all the time, and also that rampage when it stacks is just an amazing skill. It feels so powerful to be in that state with so much reload, fire rate, damage. Is just an amazing feeling. I have recorded 2 more fights for you guys, one with the cooldown build and one with the pure DPS build as well. Feel free to take a look at them if you would like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below your thoughts about these builds, like the video to save it for the future if you want to use these builds, and that's all for now. I love you guys, I'll see you on the next one.
I'm just calling to say I